Welcome back to the last section of this module where we are discussing about quality considerations in 3D printing. And in this section, we will be talking about destructive and non-destructive testing. So destructive testing is basically when you make a specimen along with your 3D printing, while you are 3D printing the part in the same build or in a different build, and then you test those specimen by destructing them. So if we talk about destructive testing, you can see that in this particular build, there are this particular is a hydraulic manifold which has been 3D printed for a aerospace application which was done by Boeing. We have discussed this in the application sections of this course. And along with this, you will see multiple coupons that have been printed. Now, these circular coupons that you see, they have been printed for a non-destructive testing, which is surface roughness measurement. So basically, the end user wants to measure the surface roughness, how it is varying along with the varying angle of this circular pipe. Whereas all these other blocks that you see, they are for burst pressure testing, and there are certain blocks for hardness testing and impact testing. And there is a dumbbell type of component which is again for your tensile testing. So whatever testing you need to do on through destructive method, there are multiple sort of testings which include tensile test specimens. You can make tensile test specimens and do tensile testing on that. Then what you can do is stress rupture testing. Stress rupture is also done for components which are having application at high working temperature, 600 degrees, 700 degrees Celsius, or which go under stress a lot, and where creep is an important phenomena that you want to test. How much is the creep strength or stress rupture strength? Then there is burst pressure testing. So any component, for example, this hydraulic manifold that you see, it undergoes certain pressure when the fluid is flowing inside. Now, in order to make sure that your part is suitable for the burst pressure that you have designed, you need to do some validation while printing. So you print burst pressure testing coupons along with the part. Then we have fatigue testing. Then we have hardness testing. Hardness testing is basically Vickers hardness, Rockwell hardness, Brindle's hardness, and all of it can be done on a very simple coupon, a circular coupon or a cubic coupon, which you will put under the hardness testing machine. Now, the important point here is that for each kind of testing, you have ASTM standards defined, which you can easily access over the net. And you can also get the test specimen drawing required for that particular testing. So you need to design those specimens, and then you need to put those specimens along with your part in the build itself. So what you see on your screen is a build plate of metal 3D printing, LPBF, laser powder bed fusion, or DMLS. Uh, Now in this, multiple coupons have been built. Now let's have a look at some of the other builds also. Here also you will see that these are the parts. What you see on the left hand side, these are the parts that are being printed for actual use. But along with the part, the customer has, or sorry, the end user has printed multiple coupons in different directions. These are tensile test coupons, flat tensile test coupons, which are tested based on ASTM E8 standard. Now they have printed coupons in vertical direction. They have printed coupons in horizontal direction, lying flat on the bed. They have also printed coupons in different directions at different angles. You can see here, there are coupons at 45 degrees, there are coupons at 60 degrees with the base plate. Now, why do we do that? Because we know that 3D printing has got uh, an isotropic nature. So the properties that you achieve in X and Y are different. The properties that you achieve in Z height is different. So in order to account for all the different properties which are varying in different directions, you need to do coupon printing in multiple directions, and these coupons are then tested in a universal testing machine, which is very much suitable for tensile test specimens. So basically, you break the coupons. That is why it is called destructive. You destroy the coupons, and the point at it which gets destroyed, before that, until that point, you are measuring all the loads given to the part, and you get a stress strain curve. So this is in general applicable for any mechanical method, for forging, casting, machining. You can make such coupons in any manufacturing method which is considered under engineering manufacturing methods, and you can do the strength evaluation using a universal testing machine. Then one more thing that I would like to highlight is that in the previous build you saw there are flat tensile coupons, where in this they are making uh, cylinders, and then these cylinders will be uh, machined to dumbbell shape coupon, which is again another standard of tensile testing, and then these coupons will be tested in the universal testing machine. So here if you see, they have also numbered the coupons, so that when you test a specific coupon or a specimen, you know that in which angle it was printed, and in which orientation it was printed, and at what location it was printed. So this gives you a full distribution of your base plate, like where I am getting what kind of mechanical strength. Is the strength same, or is it varying depending on the location? So these kind of testings are very much favored, because the cost involved here is very less when the testing is done. But yes, the costing of printing the coupons is quite higher. Then we talk about non-destructive testing. So destructive means destroying the specimen and testing the properties, basically the mechanical strength, whereas non-destructive testing is done to check if there is internal pore or any crack inside the part. So again, we take example of the same manifold which we saw in the first slide on the print bed. Now this is in the finished condition, assembled conditions, you can see. Now if I have to evaluate this part after printing, the destructive testing coupons are being made along with the part, and uh, they are a reflection of the part strength while printing, because they are being printed in the same process parameters using which is being used to print the part. But once the part has been printed, and then you want to check which like if there is any crack or any defect in the part, then you can do an X-ray analysis or a CT scan analysis. So now here if you see, this part underwent CT scan, and the particular profiles have been inspected if there is any defect or not. So all the white areas that you see, that is metal, and the black is not metal. So if there is any black area appearing in between the white sections, that can be considered as a porosity or lack of fusion or overheating of the part. Or if there is any crack inside the part, that can also be detected through these particular non-destructive techniques, which is commonly X-ray or CT scan. X-ray is a very affordable technique, but you get to know cracks and pores more than 0.05 or more than 0.1 mm inside the part, whereas in CT scan you can find out defects which are even smaller than 0.05. So here if you see, this is again an CT scan image of the same part but taken from a different angle. So that is also important, that the area which is of your focus, whether that is being covered in that particular angle or not. So this was done using a 300 kV micro focus X-ray source, which is manufactured by GE Inspection Technologies, and using that particular X-ray source, 300 kV micro focus X-ray source, GE Inspection Technologies performed CT scan on this manifold. Then let's talk about part inspection, which is measurement of the dimensions. That can be done using 3D scanning and CMM. Now, this is again a general phenomena. Any engineering part made through any manufacturing method can be checked or inspected using a 3D scanning and CMM. So, in order to understand how 3D scanning is helping us in uh, inspection of the part, we will have a look at this video So this is by XTIA, where they are doing a con rod inspection. Con rod is a component used in your automotive industry, the connecting rod basically, which is connected to your piston. And this is the CMM machine which can produce components with an accuracy of 10 micron and a resolution of 100 microns. So in a very less amount of time, the data got scanned. Within seconds, within minutes, you can scan the data. Now, once you have the 3D scan data, what the software does is it allows you to measure each and every dimension, not only which is visible from outside. In fact, you can take cross sections of these dimensions and measure. Now here, if you see, our concern should be the diameters of the connecting rod. So you can actually create a circle using the 3D scan data and measure the dia of the circle. Also, you can overlap the 3D scan model which has been generated by 3D scanning with the actual CAD model, which was the input for 3D printing or any other manufacturing process, in this case 3D printing, and it will give you the variation between that dimension and this dimension. So this is about 3D scanning, where it is being used for inspection. Now CMM is another process that is largely used in the engineering industry and manufacturing industry for inspection purpose. Now what does a CMM does is that by probing, it will take certain points. As you can see, it is taking certain points inside a hole, outside the hole, on the plane, along the edge of a plane. And using these points, you can create basic geometric features such as a cylinder, a plane, uh, a cone, a frustum, or a line. And using those lines, planes, or those, for example, if you have created a cylinder, you can measure the cylindricity, you can measure the dia, you can measure the center point of that cylinder. If you have created a plane, you can measure its parallelity with respect to the datum or other plane, and you can measure the multiple aspects of a line, such as how perpendicular line how that line is, what is the straightness of that line, and other features. So it basically again gives you an option of inputting your actual CAD model and then the data captured through CMM, and you can compare both to do the measurement. So with this, we come to an end of our quality considerations module. I hope you have a very basic understanding of now what are the quality considerations that we need to consider while 3D printing. And you can research more on like what applications require what kind of measurement and testing, what kind of quality considerations. But most of the considerations that we discuss in this module are common to all the applications. So thank you, and please explore all the other possibilities. If you have any doubts, you can anytime come back and uh, try to use this knowledge, implement this knowledge in your practical applications, and that will help you in learning. Thank you.